Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's another episode of the Daily Crypto News. With you, as always, myself, Bob, and got my brother with me, Mr. Scott Tripp, aka the Crypto Beast. As you guys know by now, we like to get together, take a couple minutes out of our day, go through some of the crypto headlines, bring them to your attention, and see what you guys think about them. I'm one of the admins over here at BigONE. Scott is as well, and he also handles all the social media content for BigONE. But before we jump into the day, we started this new thing that we got into daily market sentiment, and without no change in the schedule, we're going to go back to it today, and we're going to go to the Crypto Beast and see what the market sentiment is based on some of the things that he sees on Twitter and some of the other social media platforms, as well as some of the things like Reddit and Medium and things of that nature. So without further ado, Crypto Beast, take over.
I guess I'm just watching what's happening in the States and in Canada, and I'm still very neutral on crypto right at the moment. I'm kind of in that wait and see time frame. I know just talking to Vivint in the past, there was a certain market cap we were kind of looking for. I know it's down around that market cap right now, so I'm interested to see, I guess, where it goes from here, if it's slight up and then back down, or if something changes, but it's just more of a wait and see.
Yeah, man. For me, I think the sentiment right now is it's kind of mixed. I'm starting to smile, Scott. I'm starting to think that some of these lows are starting to be some of the lows that you have to accumulate in. And I don't think if it does go much lower, like what are we talking? Maybe another 30%. When you're talking about rallies that can rally over 600 to 700%, what's 30%, bro? So I think that once you pick your strategy and you pick your points and you pick your poison in a sense in the protocols that you're going to deal with, I think that the sentiment is neutral until something happens. So it's a good time to accumulate. So I'm kind of happy with everything that's going on, and I look forward to see what's going to happen the rest of this week, as well as when we get into that weekend. We didn't get the weekend pump last weekend, so be looking out, Scott. We haven't felt too many weekend pumps. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to jump right into the daily crypto news. My first article is actually going to be coming from Cointelegraph. The headline reads, Avalanche price rallies 20% after report reveals $25 million inflows into Avax investment vehicles. But despite the strong rebound, Avax remains trapped inside a broader failing range, kind of like most cryptos are right now, to be honest. But Avalanche rallied by 20% in the last 2 days as a report revealed millions of dollars flowing into Avax-based investment products. Pinned by CoinShares, an institutional fund manager, the report highlighted that Avalanche investment vehicles attracted about $25 million in the week of February the 21st, the second biggest inflow recorded in this period after Bitcoin's 89 million. And you guys can see that here on this chart. In contrast, Ethereum Avalanche's top rival in the smart contract sector witnessed an outflow totaling 15 million. On the whole, Avalanche is in similar crypto investment protocols attracted around 109 million, recording their fifth week of positive inflows in a row. So as you can see here, guys, what they were talking about earlier is how it's still kind of stuck in this range here. Avalanche surged to 82.50 from the $67 from February 22nd to 23rd, returning paper profits on around 22% and re-entering the top 10 currencies by crypto market cap. In comparison, Bitcoin and Ether rallied 8% and circa 10.5 in the same period. Nonetheless, Avax's trend recovery showed signs of exhaustion after testing the $80 mark, which was here. After it got here before, you see it keep falling down. So I think what they're basically saying here is that, Avalanche is making some great moves. Them talking about having the investment vehicles and things of that nature, it just kind of attracts more inflow on the bigger scale when you think about the market. I think that, when you think about Avax and what you're trying to do, if you're trying to size them up with any of their competitors, take a look at the names they're going to be compared to, the likes, and they're talking about being one of the top runners for challenges, the likes of an Ethereum. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to Avax, but definitely a good article. Good news for Avax for the people that's holding in this time. Anytime that you may need to take some profits or something may happen after the holidays, to have a asset that can do a 20% rally if you were to invest something, that could be a nice gain or a nice profit for some people.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna bring kind of like some news too that I feel is important, anyways. But I will. That is important too. Avax is kind of becoming one of those main currencies again, like one of the top 10. It feels that way. Kind of the amount it
Oh
gets
yeah, for
mentioned
sure.
as of late. So it's exciting. I'm going to share this article. So Russia could use cryptocurrency to blunt the force of US sanctions. Russia companies have made many cryptocurrency tools at their disposal to evade sanctions, including a so called digital ruble and ransomware. Why ransomware? I don't know. When the United States barred Americans from doing business with Russian banks, oil and gas developers, and other companies in 2014, after the country's invasion of Crimea, the hit to Russia's economy was swift and immense. Economists estimate the sanctions imposed by Western nations caused Russia 50 billion a year. Since then, the global market for cryptocurrencies and other digital assets have ballooned. That's bad news for enforcers of sanctions and good news for Russia. Russia has a lot more time to think about this specific consequence, says Michael Parker. This is probably for when they did this, but I guess, read this. On Tuesday, Biden's administration enacted fresh sanctions on Russia over the conflict in Ukraine, aiming to thwart its access to foreign capital. But Russia's entities are preparing to blunt some of the worst effects by making deals with anyone around the world willing to work with them, expert says. And by this, and they say those entities can use digital currencies to bypass the control points that governments rely on. I think I kind of mentioned this one time with you, Vivan, is like I felt like Russia was going to use this to bypass sanctions, and other countries are going to do it as well. Like United States really tries to push their authority with sanctions. You see it in Iran, you see it in Russia, you see it in China, and different places like that, South or North Korea. So is cryptocurrency their way of bypassing the powers that be so that they can continue to thrive as a country? And that's quite the possibility, I guess, at the moment, if they're going to legalize it totally there.
We talked about it before in previous episodes, Scott. How much of the crypto market Russia actually controls? I think it was a little bit between 10 or 15% of the entire crypto market Russia controls. So to see some of the sanctions that's been placed, when you think about traditional marketing, you still got to come back to them at the end of the day. You're going to feed one of their pots. When you talk about financial sectors, they're not that many. You have stocks, you have bonds, you have yields, and then you have index, and you have cryptocurrency is another one of those things looking to take charge. So I think that with the way things are going, and you're starting to see even more countries talking about legalizing and accepting things, Scott, I think it'll just open up more opportunities for a lot more countries. And I think that the countries that step in front and take the bull by the horns will probably reap the biggest benefits at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I'm going to jump into my second article here. It's going to be coming from Cointelegraph as well. We're going to jump right into it here. The headline reads, security firms seek to make it more difficult for scammers to get away with the DeFi project hacks, Scott. So the rise of cryptocurrency and the blockchain security companies may be making it more difficult for the alleged bad actors to get away without a trace. Early Wednesday, CertiK issued a community alert regarding Flurry Finance, where its smart contracts were allegedly breached by hackers, leading to $293,000 worth of funds being stolen. Shortly after the incident, CertiK published the wallet addresses of the alleged perpetrator, the address of the malicious token contract, and a PancakeSwap pair address allegedly involved in the attack, leading to a warning issue on BSC scan. While the firm audited the project smart contract, it appears that the exploit was the result of external dependencies. So, as you can see here, CertiK Security Leaderboard tweeted out Flurry fees, vaults contracts were attacked, leading to around $293,000 worth of assets being stolen from the vault's contract. Incident analysis. So you see here, they said there's a problem mistaking the contract we can't do anything, so we have to close the project. Sorry. So that is it kind of looks like this came out as a rug pull. It looked like Certic kind of did some things to kind of protect themselves, but this was one of the projects that Certic had audited, and at least they gave the community a heads up and said, hey, look, there's some things happening on here. And it's not a result of the current contract. It was some exploit of some external dependency. So it was some things that happened there, Scott, that you know, they tried to highlight. And when they did highlight it, you know, it was nothing the team could do. The contract had been compromised, and the team had to give up the project. Once that the contract compromise, Scott, somebody can essentially take control of the entire contract and do at their will what they want.
You know, I always think about these audits and stuff like that is sometimes, I hate to say it, but a little bit of a money grab from auditing companies, but as well, it kind of is like projects use it even though they don't want to follow through with what the audits say to do. And here's a perfect example of that. But Certic made money from the audit. The project recognized the flaws but never did anything about it, and look what happens, right? So it's kind of like that perfect storm.
Well, I guess the good thing, Scott, in a sense, is that the one thing we can take from this is that when they did this audit, they had to do a KYC, and that's why Certic was able to go ahead and publish the person's wallet address and tell them to be on the lookout. This is the one thing, and I guess is the security measure that they're going to heighten up on. And with the KYC, and you know, BigONE has a lot of KYC standards in place already. And that's the beauty of it, is that when people do things malicious on the blockchain, they should have to face those consequences in some form of fashion. And I don't think that they were wrong for taking this information and putting it out there at all. I think Certic did a good job of that and warning the people. But again, we talked about this a little bit earlier in another space, Scott, is that it's hard to protect everything because people are the same way people are building, people are also hacking at the same rate. The hackers aren't getting per se, I don't even want to use the word dumb. They're not getting unsmarter by the day because they're not like a group of people that's not that smart. They're just not that bright.
No doubt. That's very true as well.
You can have a light in the room, but it might be dim.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pick my next article here. Give me 1 second. I found this kind of funny and interesting. Web3 crypto startups poach top executives from Facebook, YouTube, and Amazon. Blockchain brands are flexing finances to lure top executives from tech giants like Facebook, YouTube, and Amazon to build the crypto-centric internet ecosystem known as Web3, reports CNBC. Ambitious tech folks are hoovering up massive salaries and mouth-watering share packages offered by crypto companies like Polygon, Circle, and Coinbase. Coinbase, the top US crypto exchange, has offered software engineers roles that earn up to $900,000 per year, according to social network Blind. More crypto and Web3 companies emerge as more crypto. We expect the markets for tech talent across all levels to become even more competitive, says James Hallahan, director of UK and Ireland for Hayes Tech Division. The outlet noted the blockchain startups raised more than $25 billion in venture capital in 2021, giving them plenty of cash to attract the top talent. It's not even about, like, I get, yes, 100% they're attracting the talent and they have the money to do it. But I hope they're attracting the right people that have the right idea of what Web3 is. And these aren't people that are bringing in Web2 ideas into Web3 like Dorsey and them are kind of suggesting. But
excuse me, I got one more. Excuse me. I felt those coming and was nothing I could do about them. So, and I'm always a fan of there's more air out there than it is in here, so you got to let it out. So yeah, man. I think so too, Scott. I think you do have so many different like people weighing in, so many different decisions, especially some of the big people like Jack and them, man. And we just gotta be careful and make sure that we're learning, taking in the right information and learning the right things, and hopefully these people we're setting these partnerships are taking the time to do the same thing, because the last thing we want to see is more community members hurt throughout the crypto space by malicious acts or things of that nature. To go into my final article for the day, Scott, I'm going to jump right back over to Cointelegraph. The headline reads, Mexican senators propose crypto law. We need Bitcoin as a legal tender. So amid El Salvador reporting on cases of the positive impact of the country's Bitcoin adoption, a government official in Mexico has again urged that the country should follow El Salvador's example on Bitcoin. So Indira Kimbis, a senator representing Nuevo Leon state, is confident that Bitcoin should be a legal tender in Mexico because its adoption could potentially drive global financial inclusion. The senator is now developing a cryptocurrency bill based on El Salvador's Bitcoin laws. She expects to introduce the bill to the Mexican Congress this year. Kimbis said in an interview with El Salvador English publication after visiting El Salvador a few weeks ago, it is clear to me that the financial exclusion and one of the public's problems that few of us have addressed with feasible alternatives is that the type of technology is allowing us to generate an alternative that so millions of people can be included in the financial system. And I think what she's talking about there, Scott, is just, just really just like opening up the eyes of people and letting them know, like, hey, look, we need to do more of what other countries are doing because it's making those countries a lot more profit or making them more profitable. We had an article yesterday where we talked about the tourism actually going up inside of the countries in El Salvador because of them accepting Bitcoin as a legal tender. So I think that was a great article from her. And I look forward to see what she's going to do pushing for it.
It's kind of funny, like your article there, I have something that's actually very similar to that. A little, very similar, but I get a kick out of this. I like this, and it gives me a good feeling in a way, and I think it should give a lot of people a great feeling, especially if they're involved in cryptocurrency. So Latin America continues its steps towards Bitcoin adoption. So it's not that Mexican senator was pushing it. In Brazil, the Senate's Economic Affairs Committee recently passed a 2019 bill that recognizes crypto markets. Two Latin American nations, Mexico and Brazil, have taken initial measures towards Bitcoin adoption. More Latin American countries are exploring crypto regulations. Since El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender in September 2021, crypto awareness in Latin American countries have continued to grow. Politicians in Argentina, Brazil, Panama, Paraguay have become more open to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies due to El Salvador's influence and as a potential solution to inflation. Amazing. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to go too deep into it because we kind of already talked about it and with your article. And I agree 100%. Like, this is Latin America kind of taking the bull by the horns right now and starting to steer its course a little bit.
Yeah, man. I think that we'll keep seeing it, Scott. We'll keep seeing these different countries and Latin American countries kind of follow suit with one another. They always been a type of people always stick together and reap for the same goal, right? And I think it's no different here when we look at what they're doing here. But without further ado, guys, we're gonna jump over to the last section of the day. We're gonna look at the total crypto market cap and some of the dominance factors that we like to take a look at. I'm actually just gonna do these vocally today. I haven't got hip to the new computer that far, so we're just gonna keep it on the. I can look at it from my phone. The total crypto market cap right now is sitting at 1.66 trillion. Again, guys, one of those things that I'm not seeing a lot of new things happening in. I think the market trend could potentially still trend down could potentially switch, but I don't know. I don't see anything that's going to trigger that. Bitcoin dominance is at 42.47, and the Ethereum dominance is at 18.59. Again, at these levels, Scott, again, it's not like Bitcoin can't be the dominant factor, but when Bitcoin's not trying to make any move heading to the top side, or reversing the market trend, I think you got to weigh out with what is on your plate at the current time. And right now, the market just isn't giving us any indication of any reverse trend right now. So I think we should all just kind of sit back, relax, enjoy some of the prices. If you think this is a great time to start averaging back in and do that, I think that it could be potentially some lower lows, but as always, it could be a flip of that and be potentially higher highs. So, or higher lows. So, I think we just sit back and continue to watch. I mean, me and Scott, we've been going back and forth now for the greater part of 2 to 3, I guess 2 months. We've been able to consult with some amazing people such as Andy Lynn and some of the other people that we know within our community and talk. And we just feel like right now is just a great time to kind of speculate from the outside and kind of watch what's going on. But guys, we always appreciate you guys tuning in with us here at BigONE. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Before we get out of here, I do want to tell you guys that we're starting to kind of pick up on our Twitter trend. If you're a new token or a new project, looking at these videos and you want to see some of the things that we do, come into one of our Twitter spaces, talk with me and Scott, look at some of the things that we're doing. We're going to be highlighting a couple of projects in the upcoming weeks as their communities show a lot of persistence in reaching out and trying to get our attention. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Is also some new guessing games that's online with BigONE. We're able to kind of guess at some of the prices of a few different protocols, three right now that I know of. You could guess, and if you win, there's a possibility for rewards there. But that's all I got, Scott. You got anything before we get out of here?
No, you did a great job there. I mean, just keep on keeping on, you guys. Try and keep the positivity as much as possible. I know I've had a couple of bleak days the last while just being here in Canada, but seeing the changes that are happening right now, it kind of gives you that little bit of a positive uplift. So let's continue to see it go the way it's going. I just want it to be a little bit stronger. So, yeah.
Yeah, guys, let's keep the vibes. Let's keep the vibes on high. It's Wednesday, so we're halfway through the week. We got 2 more episodes left this week. We also have a Twitter space on Friday. We're going to be doing something with Everrise to do something with their little with their pregame to their announcement on Friday. So we look forward to jumping in and opening that space and seeing that community come in and teach us more about the utility that they're going to offer, and potentially a listing here soon. So we'll keep watching out for it, Scott. We'll keep the positive vibes flowing. But again, guys, make sure you click like, comment, or subscribe down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's any other topics you guys want to discuss. And if nothing else, that's all I got.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace. See you later.